What is going on, everyone? We are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are
HellaDepraved.
And this is the last
Regular song.
non-horror
Right.
spooky song reaction, other than Indian songs on the weekends,
Right.
that we're doing
For the entire spooky month of October.
for October. Other than the possibility of two specific people that we have already had prearranged conversations with.
Correct. Now, this is also an exception that we'll be releasing pretty much right
Immediately.
after we do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could not be done ahead of time because it dropped today, but we've been waiting patiently for new music from King Blitz.
King Blitz! My
And
brother from another
you
mother.
know that we're going to be here for his work when we can be. So
Exactly.
we were able to do it tonight. We're able to release it before it switches over to the first. We're here. We're here.
We're here for it, goddammit.
There's a purpose for this.
Yes, I guess. That's a...
Yes.
Fired. You're fired.
I'm too lovely to fire.
True.
It's my sparkling personality.
Yikes forever.
Your band is what you're a doghouse, dude.
Anyways, super excited for this. So, we're going to react to this if you guys have already seen it. If not, click in the description below, hop on over to all things. Coming back, which that's we're commentary, reaction, breakdown, comedy channel. And what that means is we will pause for any and or all of the above. It is time to slash it up and break it down. This is King Blitz with purpose.
All right.
Let's get it.
I can say that I don't care, but I'll be lying to you. Most of my life I always felt invisible, like I was blind to you. Always looking for acceptance in the wrong places. Barely had role models, bottling all emotions while I'm ordering more bottles, more problems. Barely had childhood friends, cause in between switching schools I had no identity. Anybody got close, ghosts in a row so intentional. I got rules in the room.
I can relate, kind of. I can't relate to the drinking, but
Well, but there's other things that are meant to funnel our thoughts elsewhere. Like, I overread. And I know that's like a weird thing to say, but it's my escape. So overreading means I'm not doing the other stuff just to take care of me, I guess, let alone others. I
right.
zone out, you know.
I could definitely relate to spending, honestly, most of my childhood feeling invisible. But it eventually got to the point where I, as an adult now, especially, I prefer to remain that way. I know that's weird to
Yeah.
hear a YouTuber say that.
Honestly, I think it's one of the
But-
things that caused our caustic sense of humor. Because I was definitely, I mean, my sister was the golden kid.
Right.
And so, and when I was noticed, I was in trouble. So I tried to sort of take a back seat. I was already pretty invisible. So it wasn't that hard. But it definitely developed a dark sense of humor in me. And when I want to be seen, that's what comes out.
Right.
So, yeah.
Schools, I had no identity. Anybody got close, ghosts in a row so intentional. I got rules in the room, wounded in school, didn't have a light, so I figured that music would do. Got cool with the group, all they wanted was the beat, so it felt like losing it too. But I
Dude, that cadence change was sexy.
Honestly,
I loved
this
it.
This is so personal. Like, honestly, I feel like he's reading us his diary, because I know I've jotted down a lot of the same thoughts over time. Like, I was horribly bullied until I left that school in 10th grade. And so it just, his feeling of like, I wasn't accepted there, so I thought music would do. Like, I get that. Like, I went to listening to music and reading, honestly, and doing a lot of my own personal writing, but it's the same sort of thing, that you latch on to something that actually makes you happy and, I don't know, that you're good at.
Right.
Our cats are determined to pull up the rug.
That's not even the rug. He's pulling at the
Siding?
actual baseboard. One of you shit, and I hate you for it.
So I figured that music would do. Got cool with the group. All they wanted was the beat, so it felt like losing it too. But I never was delusional. I kept rapping, I'm shit passion. But lately I feel I lost it. What happened? Feeling like it get worse as time passes. I don't know what to say anymore. Looking at the God, then I look down, realizing I never really pray anymore. But there's no question as to if I'm afraid anymore. And I been losing track of time, don't know what day anymore. One day I've rest my place, cause it's hard to find my way anymore. But I'm trying to find a confidence, it's much better when anonymous. I'm never satisfied with my accomplishments. And if I'm being honest, it's getting hard to really trust people. Feel like everybody got it out for me.
Whew. I fucking love Blitz.
Yeah. I know.
You see she's guarding the door now?
Yes, she is. Good kitty.
Good kitty.
Yeah. This is hard. I think all of us go through this in cycles in life, you know? Like, you think that you found your place, but then something sort of trips you up, or you get lost doing something else, and it rattles your confidence, and you kind of wish you were anonymous still, you know, still invisible.
One of the things, one of the ways I can relate to that sentiment, there are times, like, we'll have a month, maybe a month and a half straight of having 20 to 30 people show up in our live streams, right? And you'll feel like, it'll actually feel like, hey, we're getting bigger. People are coming around. Yeah. People are sticking around and enjoying it. And then we'll have times like last Sunday or the Sunday before where, well, it wouldn't be the Sunday before, it'd be the Sunday before that, but
like 5 people.
We'll have like 6 people in the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, I guess we weren't growing like we thought we were.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I have to remind myself that when we normally have 5 or 6 people, honestly, the conversation's better.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also try to think of it like this, too. Like, I know people's got lives.
Right.
And I don't expect people to just give up.
Drop everything.
What they're doing to come hang out. But, like, at the same time, I recenter myself, and it's like, look, I'm doing this because I enjoy it.
Right.
Not because I'm expecting anything to come of it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying by the conversation's better. Like,
right.
You know, there's not as much distraction and side work for us to do with keeping up with everything, and we're able to focus on those people that basically show up every single live. Right. And I just got to remember that at least we're touching some people inappropriately, most likely. Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, it's getting hard to really trust people. Feel like everybody got it out for me. Went from barely having no crowd to everybody overcrowding me. Everybody claim they proud of me, but it was living through the drought for me. When my family didn't have a house to sleep, when $5 took us out to eat, whole family had it out for me. Daughter in hospitals constantly, so-called homies out clowning me. My boss was always still in time for me. This shit was really headed down for me. But I ain't finna be the victim, no. I play a part in my own oppression. Chasing views and impressions, obsession, and I'm way too invested. That's why every other song starts to sound like every other song is suspected when you disconnect from yourself. Then you try to connect with the trends, and y'all music start to sound like what the algorithm breaking.
We stay away from the trends on purpose.
Right.
I still haven't even reacted to the last 2 songs Eminem was on.
Right.
Haven't even listened to them.
It's surprising, though.
We don't hit up the new, like, JIDs or...
You know, I mean, there's so many independent artists out there that I think almost... I mean, they need to be seen more.
Right.
And there's so many people doing JID or Eminem or... that they're getting enough fanfare. I like to look out for the underdog, the little guy.
Right.
But I get what he's saying. Like, he went from nothing to having all of these people swarming him, telling him how proud they are. And
I don't care if you dislike it. I'm still proud of you. Damn
it. we are, but it's disconcerting. Like, right. Again, it's that fame or money thing or both, where you never know if the sentiment is real, you know, and who's going to backstab you next.
Right.
And it's sad. This is why we're misanthropes.
Also true.
Yeah.
Also true.
Then you try to connect with the trends, and y'all music start to sound like what the algorithm recommends.
Every white rapper out there. Stop trying to sound like Eminem. Fucking quit it.
Sound like yourself, y'all.
Thank you.
Although the algorithm is bullshit. It's
true.
absolute bullshit, and I'm glad he called it out here. He's like, honestly, if you don't sound like this shit, the algorithm doesn't recommend you anymore, and I hate that.
You try to connect with the trends, and y'all music start to sound like what the algorithm recommends. It's like y'all living through a lens, and these rappers lately start to sound the same. Super hard to find inspiration. Everything is so killed to be killed, and most of an imitation. Now I'm living in a space where I love the rap game, but for me, do I gotta play stuff? If I'm being honest, I've been thinking about it a lot. The fans like, how can you not? We waited too long for that merch when that album would drop. I rob it, you dog, but if you can't give it your all, then new crown and be in your spot. At war with myself, I don't know why, but it happens. I keep on avoiding myself. I'm doing my all for others in every direction. So lately I'm ragged, I feel like I'm forcing myself. I'm thankful for all that I got, I promise, but nothing ever satisfies the hunger. I'm really getting sick and tired of wonder, cause I was so young and discovering rap, perfecting my craft. And all I wanted was that. Remember still in M's, lyric was underdeveloped. You know we all started off whack, but now that I'm older and dealt with a little exposure, it comes with the problems. In fact, I question if I even want it no more. Cause I can just stack and relax, but gotta be careful with that way of thinking, cause that can be haunting me back. Yeah, all of the homies who no longer with me, it's more like a stab in the back. Damn, so for that purpose, I think I found purpose. Yeah, just for that purpose, I think I found purpose.
Woo! Nice. Shot by Queen Bee. Props to you. That's such bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, look.
Not what you had to say, Blitz.
Yeah, no. If somebody is your favorite artist or in that ranking or offers you inspiration in a dark place or whatever, how on earth do you think it's helpful to either of you to pressure them? Either for more songs or merch or this or that. Like, we all have lives, you know. Blitz is pretty transparent with the fact that he's got a wife and kids. Right. Like, you gotta expect him to take care of his own first, right?
For the most part, I make it a point when I'm talking to homies that do hip-hop or other genres of music or whatever, to not ask, look, I need you.
Hey, baby.
I make it a point to not ask when the next artist drop is.
Right.
Or not artist drop, music drop.
It's just undue pressure. Yeah.
It's like, I've done it jokingly to like Gats. Yeah. Where I'll be like, dude, you haven't dropped in like 6 months. What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
But then I'd be like, dude, take your time. Whenever you have something you want to put it out.
Make sure that they know that that's a joke.
Right.
Yeah. It would also spoil their...
Okay, now you can come
the music, the purpose, the intent between each song if they were pressuring themselves to write. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's going to end up sounding like every other rapper and lackluster. And when he was talking about the kill or be killed, but a lot of it's just a front. I mean, like, that's the type of music that comes out when people don't have something personal to say. You know, they start making music that means nothing because they just had to put something out.
And I will say that's also a part of the both blessing and the curse of the new digital age we're in. Right.
We expected to wait 2+ years between albums.
Growing up, the most consistent artists were every year. They'd drop an album. Sometimes there'd be a 2-year gap.
Right.
But it was usually anywhere between a year to 2 years.
Right.
And now we're in this age where there's people that are dropping a song every Friday.
Right.
Because they feel they have to.
Right.
Because
it's pressure.
The algorithm is like, need more content. Constantly put out content. And the thing is, if you don't put out content, all of a sudden, you're get
forgotten.
Taken out of the loop of things.
Yeah.
And you end up being forgotten. And growing up, artists didn't have to worry about that. Now, at the same time, they were also signed to record labels.
They had completely other worries.
You had the rare occasion that somebody like Tech would come along, stay completely independent.
I was going to say Tech was one of those
and
outliers.
Still maintain being a monster, but that just goes to show the true skill that he had as a rapper.
He's a motherfucking monster. Yeah,
right.
that's
still has
exactly.
as a rapper. I say had, but that's only because I'm speaking of the past tense. I mean,
we're speaking of albums and signing versus today he's fucking nuts. Still.
And to be honest, I actually get more tired of the artists that drop weekly.
Right.
Like, I don't need 3 albums a year from the people that I love. That doesn't give me a chance or time to digest what they actually put out. Because it's like, oh, you guys put out this person here put out an album. It's great. And then you listen to it, and then like 2-3 months later, there's another one.
But
they're also dropping a song every week that aren't on these albums.
It's still like,
and it's just
less and less personal of a message, even if they never get to the banal.
Well, there's a term for it. It's law of diminishing returns.
Right.
The more you do something, the less special and the less meaningful it feels.
Yeah.
So if you're an artist, at least, and it's doubly so for me. And there are some people that are 100% like, I love everything that you put out every Friday. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I get to the point where I'm like, fuck, dude. I've heard you every Friday for the past year and a half, and I need a break.
But I feel like those are the ultimate consumers that love it. Like, I think there's a difference between the good part of consumerism and being a consumer to that level. Because to that level, you're willing to ingest anything.
Right.
As long as it has the right label on it. And I'm not saying that for the people that enjoy drops by certain people, like once a week, that you don't find meaning in every song. I'm just saying that, that's the ultimate form of consumerism. And for those of us that prefer just deep shit all the time, we're gonna, I digress to listening to stuff from the 90s, early 2000s. I get overloaded. I'm just like, nope.
Exactly.
I need my cup of tea and warm blanket, and for me, that is the music that was taking 2 years to come out. So, but I get what he's saying in terms of like, how are you supposed to maintain your joy as an artist in what you're doing, in what you're putting out, knowing that artists are already overcritical of their own work. So you've got an ultimate perfectionist, but how are they supposed to maintain joy and pride in what they do when they're being pressured into doing stuff, and they're being pressured into doing stuff by people telling them how proud they are of them, and that they're owed something for being proud of them? I honestly, don't give your pride to somebody else if you're not willing to back them up, even if they go quiet for 2 years. I guess it's just a different perspective, but I do think that we're, as a society, kind of damning ourselves to being inundated with the banal, honestly.
Well, and
I was just going to add, it's the same for writers.
Right.
Unless they go independent, they are pressured into X number of books a year. They're also told that those books may not exceed a certain number of pages, which means that they're more basic than a lot of the artists would like them to be. But if they go indie, a lot of times they don't have the money to release them in any sort of paper format. If they do, it's paperback. And they pressure themselves into writing more than what the label was asking for, because the algorithms, they get forgotten if they don't release on a more than quarterly sort of... We're really condemning ourselves here to breeding out the thoughtfulness and depth behind stuff.
Right.
Including relationships.
Just to give you an idea of an artist can suffer from doing too much. Right. You can even look at major record label artists who aren't putting out songs every Friday, right? Look at all the names that are still around today that were around in the early 2000s that are still putting out albums, right? You've got like T.I., Eminem, Jay-Z, Kanye West,
Right.
so forth and so on. And every album, you hear more and more shit talk about the people dropping albums, right? But you go and you ask people, well, who are some of the most legendary artists in your opinion? And a lot of people are going to say Tupac,
Right.
Biggie, right? And it's true, they're legendary. But neither Tupac or Biggie lived long enough
To keep putting out
to
albums.
wear themselves
Right.
out.
Right.
A lot of people could sit here and say, "Oh, I think they'd still be writing bangers and doing great today." But
Sure, I'm sure they would.
it's
but
easy
it would
to
be less.
it's easy to say that. But you look at every other artist that's continued to put out music,
Right. And there's hits and misses, and that's
Right.
what I was gonna say. I'm sure that Tupac and everybody would still be putting out bangers, but the percentage per album would be less because if you are pushed versus something that manifests, like you just don't have as deep of messages. Is just the thing, and you just run dry at some point, I guess.
And then the digital age also brings again just so many people
There's so many options
that are doing music
Yeah.
at this point. It's again, before you got signed to a deal, if you worked your ass off, you got noticed.
Got noticed.
And we
A
heard
lot of luck, little time and place. Yeah.
we heard 6, 7, 8, 9 artists pretty much on rotation daily,
Right.
and sometimes it would get mixed up and stuff. But like a lot, unless you were deeply rooted into the underground, you didn't hear that shit.
No.
Right? But now in this digital age, everybody's an artist.
Right.
I can name 15 people that all sound extremely, extremely similar.
Yep.
And I'm not going to call them out here.
No, but it's true.
But you can name 15 people that all sound extremely similar because they're copying somebody else's style, usually Eminem, if you're white.
But it happens in the mainstream too.
Right. And it's
It is what it is, but like I said, I think we're on our way to sort of a amalgamation of music that's going to cause a plateau. Anyway, I really love this. Sorry for...
We ranted for a while.
Now,
Blitz.
Blitz's music normally causes us to have sort of in-depth conversations that are or are not rants, depending on the subject. But
Right.
I really like this. I really hope that this purpose gives him the not confidence, but the self-assurement that he needed to continue on whatever path he knows is the right one for him.
Right. At the end of the day, Blitz, I and Kat
Just want you to be happy.
want what's best for you.
You and your family.
And what you feel is best for you and your family.
You want to sit on your stacks and let them multiply and only release something every 2 years? We'll be here.
Exactly. We love you. I wish I had... Again, I come home every day and say something along the lines of at least once a day where I say, I wish I had more time in a day to do all the things that I want to do. I am terrible with keeping in contact with my friends.
But he, at least once a month, is like, damn, I should have reached out to Blitz.
Yeah.
It's true.
Blitz is somebody I definitely need to try to keep more contact with. Honestly, I've probably talked to Blitz about as much in the last 3 months as I've talked to my best friend who I've grown up with. If that should tell you guys
That's not
anything.
saying much, by the way. That's like a twice a year thing.
Yeah, I'm terrible with keeping up with people. Life is crazy busy in general.
We keep chaotic hours for most people.
Fucking Christ, ain't that right?
Yeah.
But homie, we love you. And yeah,
Hope everybody is doing great over there.
tell the kids we said hi. I don't know if they know who we are, but tell them we said hi anyways. And whenever they're bad, tell them we're hiding in the closet because that's a.
I'm the boogeyman. That's what I am. Sorry.
Anyways, if you guys like the video, slash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below. What did you think of King Blitz with Purpose? Also comment down below if there's anything else you guys want to see reacted to. Check the description below for
all the things. Push our
Fucking
bell.
Christ.
Join us on our other social media platforms. Mostly Twitter if you want a quicker response.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Cannot wait to see you to pray people later. Peace.